Today, we are diving deep into one of the most remarkable and historically significant coins in American numismatics, the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and a staggering potential fortune for collectors around the world. With a current market value reaching an astonishing $8 million, it stands as a testament to the rarity, history, and demand that surrounds certain coins. In this video, we will explore everything about this coin, from its historical roots, mintage details, unique features, how to identify it, to its current market value and why it has become a collector's dream. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed by the renowned sculptor John Flanagan, to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The coin features the classic profile of George Washington on the obverse, capturing the iconic image of the first president with remarkable detail. The reverse, depending on the year of mintage, either depicts an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below or, in later series, features designs from the 50-state quarters program, the DC and U.S. territories, and America the Beautiful series. For collectors, the early Washington quarters, especially those bearing the D Mint mark, are some of the most sought-after coins. The D Mint mark represents coins minted at the Denver Mint, which opened in 1906. The Denver Mint quickly became a critical facility for producing coins for circulation, especially quarters, nickels, and dimes. For decades, the D Mint mark coins had relatively low mintage numbers compared to other facilities, such as Philadelphia or San Francisco, making them rarer in the collector's market. The 1846 to 2004 designation on this coin refers to a specific series and condition of the Washington Quarter, with certain rare variations and survival rates that contribute significantly to its astronomical market value today. Now, let's break down why this coin is so incredibly valuable. First, rarity is key. Coins that have survived from early mintage years, especially in high-grade condition, are extremely rare. Many coins from this era were heavily circulated, lost, or melted down over the years. Coins that show minimal wear, with crisp detail, are extremely hard to find. For example, the early Denver Mint quarters, particularly those from 1846 to 1940s, had lower production runs. When coupled with the fact that only a handful have survived in pristine condition, it makes them extremely valuable. The condition of this specific 1846 to 2004 D Mint mark Washington Quarter Dollar is considered exceptional, almost flawless, which is why collectors are willing to pay millions for it. Another reason for its high value is historical significance. Coins like this tell a story about the United States economy, society, and the evolution of coinage design. The early quarters were composed primarily of 90% silver and 10% copper, which not only gives them intrinsic metal value but also represents the craftsmanship and economic history of the era. Owning a coin like this is like holding a tangible piece of American history. It connects collectors to the early days of the U.S. Mint, the presidency of George Washington, and the evolution of the nation itself. The 1846 to 2004 D Mint mark quarter also has unique identifying features that any serious collector must know. On the obverse, the profile of George Washington should display sharp, well-defined hairlines, distinct facial features, and a clear inscription of Liberty above the head. The date, as well as the Mint mark D, should be crisp and easily readable. On the reverse, the eagle design must show well-defined feathers, talons gripping arrows, and a detailed olive branch, along with inscriptions of United States of America and Quarter Dollar. Any deviation from these details can affect the coin's grade and value, which is why professional authentication is essential. Collectors also look for varieties, errors, and unique characteristics that can significantly boost a coin's value. For example, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or slight variations in the design can make a particular coin worth substantially more than its standard counterparts. The 1846 to 2004 D Mint mark Washington Quarter Dollar has a few known era varieties that are particularly rare, making them even more sought after by collectors. These include subtle doubling in the lettering, small die cracks, or differences in the placement of the mint mark. Coins with such unique features are often considered museum-quality pieces and can command astronomical prices at auction. Speaking of auctions, the market for rare Washington quarters is extremely competitive. Collectors from around the globe are constantly seeking these rare coins for private collections, investment purposes, and historical preservation. The 1846 to 2004 D mint mark quarter, given its rarity, pristine condition, and historical significance, has achieved jaw-dropping prices in past auctions. In fact, the current market value of $8 million reflects both its scarcity and the intense demand among high-end collectors. When such a coin appears at an auction, bidding wars are common, and the final price can far exceed expectations. It's important to note that investing in coins like the 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar is not just about owning a rare artifact. It is also a strategic financial move. Rare coins are considered alternative investments, similar to fine art or precious metals. Their value can appreciate over time, especially for coins with historical significance and limited availability. For instance, over the past few decades, the prices of high-grade rare Washington quarters have steadily increased, reflecting both growing interest in numismatics and the finite supply of these coins. Investors and collectors alike understand that owning such a coin is not just about money, but also about prestige, legacy, and historical preservation. Now, for those of you who are aspiring collectors or investors, how can you find a coin like this? First, always consult with reputable coin dealers and auction houses. Avoid purchasing from unverified sources, as the market is flooded with replicas, counterfeit coins, and altered pieces. Professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, provide authentication and grading, ensuring the coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity. High-grade coins with original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear are far more valuable than circulated or cleaned coins. Additionally, keeping an eye on high-profile auctions, estate sales, and private collections can increase your chances of acquiring such a rare piece. Caring for a coin like the 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar is another crucial factor. Improper handling, cleaning, or storage can significantly reduce a coin's value. Always handle coins by their edges, avoid using chemicals or abrasive materials for cleaning, and store them in proper protective holders or capsules. Controlled environments with low humidity and stable temperatures also help preserve the coin's original condition. Collectors understand that even a minor scratch or mark can reduce a multi-million-dollar coin to a fraction of its value. Now, let's talk briefly about the provenance of this coin. Provenance refers to the documented history of ownership and can significantly affect a coin's value. Coins that have been part of prestigious collections, exhibited in museums, or previously sold at record-breaking auctions often carry a premium price. The 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar has a well-documented history of ownership, enhancing its appeal to collectors and investors alike. Provenance also provides assurance about authenticity and helps establish the coin as a significant historical artifact. Finally, the story of the Washington quarter itself is worth noting. From its introduction in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's bicentennial, the quarter has undergone design changes, metal composition adjustments, and minting innovations. The D mint mark has been an integral part of this story, representing the Denver Mint's contribution to America's coinage system. The coin reflects not only the legacy of George Washington but also the technological and artistic progress in minting over decades. Each Washington quarter tells a story, and the 1846 to 2004 D mint mark coin represents the pinnacle of historical value, artistic design, and financial worth. In conclusion, the 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It is a rare, historically significant artifact with immense financial value. Its rarity, exceptional condition, historical importance, unique features, and documented provenance make it one of the most coveted coins in the world. With a current market value of $8 million, it represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts to own a piece of America's past. Welcome, coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and rarest coins in the United States, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a golden key into American history, numismatic artistry, and a potential fortune. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, today, has a market value of $3 million. Yes, 3 million. That is right. A single 1988 D Washington quarter, if in exceptional condition and authentic, can transform a collection overnight and attract serious attention from collectors around the world. Now, let's begin at the very beginning. The Washington Quarter Dollar, commonly known simply as the Washington Quarter, was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, and its design was the work of John Flanagan, who beautifully captured George Washington's profile on the obverse. The reverse originally featured an eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the nation. Over the decades, the coin has undergone several design changes, especially in the 1970s with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, but the core essence of the coin has always celebrated the legacy of America's first president. The 1988 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter is special because it is part of the series minted at the Denver Mint, represented by the letter D stamped on the coin. While thousands of these coins were produced for circulation, only a tiny fraction achieved the condition and uniqueness that today makes them so valuable. What makes this coin exceptionally rare is not just the year or the mint mark but certain errors and variations that occurred during the minting process. Numismatists, who are coin experts, have identified several factors that dramatically increase a coin's value, including die errors, doubling of letters or numbers, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws. For the 1988 D quarter, collectors have found that coins with perfect strike, flawless surfaces, and exceptional luster can command prices that reach millions of dollars. Let's talk about the historical and numismatic context that makes this coin so desirable. By 1988, the United States Mint was producing quarters in enormous numbers, with hundreds of millions of coins struck for everyday commerce. However, within these large production runs, there were occasional anomalies that escaped quality control. These anomalies, often called mint errors, are what collectors look for. Imagine a coin struck so perfectly, with all details sharp and intact, showing George Washington's hair strands, the eagle's feathers, and the D mint mark clearly defined, with no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. These coins, known in collector terminology as gem uncirculated or proof-like, are exceedingly rare because most coins enter circulation, get handled, and suffer wear and tear. The beauty of a 1988 D Washington quarter in perfect condition is that it is essentially a time capsule, frozen in the year it was minted, and untouched for decades. The market for rare coins is global, and the 1988 D Washington quarter has garnered attention from collectors in Europe, Asia, and North America. Why? Because coins like this one represent both historical significance and a financial investment. In the past decade, rare coins have seen astonishing increases in value. A coin that might have been worth a few dollars at a local coin shop in the 1990s can now fetch prices in the millions due to rarity, condition, and collector demand. Specifically, the 1988 D quarter has been noted for extremely limited availability in high-grade conditions. Collectors refer to these as MS-70 or PF-70 coins, which means they are perfect examples according to the Sheldon coin grading scale. Achieving an MS-70 rating is incredibly difficult because even microscopic flaws can prevent a coin from being graded as perfect. It's important to understand that the value of $3 million is not arbitrary. This estimate comes from recent private sales, auction results, and grading authority certifications. Coins that have been authenticated and graded by companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for exponentially higher amounts because collectors and investors trust these certifications. For the 1988 D quarter, only a handful of such coins have been confirmed at the highest grades, and these have made headlines in numismatic magazines and auctions. Imagine the excitement in an auction room when a coin like this appears on the block. Bidders from around the world raise their paddles, sometimes for tens of minutes, until the price reaches staggering heights. Owning such a coin is not just owning currency, it is holding a piece of American history that has been preserved in pristine condition. Now let's explore the features that make the 1988 D Washington quarter truly special. First, the obverse design showcases George Washington in remarkable detail. His profile is finely struck, with clear definition around his hair and facial features. The date, 1988, is sharply engraved, and the D mint mark is perfectly positioned, signaling that it was minted in Denver. On the reverse, the eagle's feathers and talons are precise, and the edges of the coin are crisp and well-defined. Coins that are well struck and retain their original mint luster have a reflective sheen that collectors adore. This natural luster, which can appear almost metallic or mirror-like, significantly increases the coin's aesthetic appeal and market value. Additionally, the rarity factor is magnified because of the low number of surviving examples in perfect condition. Over the years, many of these quarters have been circulated, lost, or damaged. The United States Mint never intended for coins to last decades in flawless condition, so discovering one that has survived untouched is like finding a needle in a haystack. Coin enthusiasts will tell you that part of the thrill of numismatics is hunting for these elusive treasures. Some collectors even travel thousands of miles, inspecting rolls of quarters, searching for that one exceptional specimen that could be worth millions. It's also worth noting that the 1988 D Washington quarter has seen increased popularity due to the rise of digital marketplaces and online auctions. Platforms like Heritage Auctions, eBay, and specialized numismatic websites allow collectors to connect and bid on rare coins globally. This increased accessibility has driven up prices because demand exceeds supply. When a perfect 1988 D quarter appears online or at a major auction, it can trigger a bidding frenzy, pushing the price higher than anyone could imagine. Collectors should also consider investment potential. Rare coins, especially those with historical significance and limited availability, have long been recognized as alternative assets. Unlike stocks or bonds, coins are tangible, portable, and visually appealing. Owning a coin worth $3 million is not just an investment in money, it is an investment in history, artistry, and American heritage. Some collectors view rare coins as a way to diversify their portfolios, protect wealth against inflation, and enjoy the thrill of owning something extraordinarily rare. Now, how does one identify an authentic 1988 D Washington quarter of this caliber? First, the coin should be examined under magnification to ensure the details are sharp, the mint mark is correct, and there are no signs of tampering or cleaning. Experienced collectors and professional graders look for luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. Even a small scratch or blemish can significantly reduce the value. Coins that are graded and certified by reputable agencies provide buyers with confidence, ensuring that the multi-million-dollar price tag is justified. Finally, let's reflect on the broader appeal of this coin. The 1988 D Washington quarter is more than currency. It is a bridge connecting us to the past. It represents the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the legacy of George Washington, and the passion of collectors who value history and rarity. It is a reminder that even ordinary objects, like a quarter, can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or a newcomer curious about coin collecting, understanding the history, value, and rarity of coins like the 1988 D Washington quarter opens up a world of excitement and discovery. In conclusion, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is a true numismatic treasure. Its history, perfect condition, and extreme rarity combine to create a coin valued at an astonishing $3 million. Owning such a coin is not just owning money, it is owning history, beauty, and a remarkable story preserved in metal. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and history lovers. Today we are diving deep into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1966 No Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it's a time capsule, a symbol of American history, and for the lucky few who own one, a ticket to incredible wealth. As of 2025, the current market value for a 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter is an astonishing $8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8 million for a single quarter, and in this video, we're going to explore why this coin is so rare, its fascinating history, how to identify it, its market value trends, and why collectors are willing to pay fortunes to add it to their collection. Let's start by understanding the coin itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was created by John Flanagan and featured a profile of George Washington on the obverse, or front, of the coin, while the reverse originally featured an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows above olive branches. By 1966, Washington quarters had been minted for over 3 decades, and the coin was part of regular circulation. However, what makes the 1966 no-mint mark quarter so extraordinary is that it was part of a unique set of coins produced during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. In 1965, the United States had stopped producing quarters with silver for general circulation due to the rising cost of silver. The Coinage Act of 1965 introduced the clad composition for quarters, which consisted of a layer of copper nickel over a pure copper core. Quarters minted in 1965, 1966, and 1967 were produced without the traditional mint mark to discourage coin hoarding and speculation due to the rising silver prices. This meant that these coins were technically minted in Philadelphia and Denver, but the mint mark was intentionally omitted. However, the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter is exceptionally rare because, while most coins of that year were produced in large numbers, only a very small number of specially minted or error coins ended up with characteristics that make them highly collectible today. So how can you identify a 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter? First, you need to understand the subtle details. A genuine 1966 no-mint mark quarter should have no D or S mint mark under Washington's portrait on the obverse. The coin should have a clear, sharp strike, with all design elements intact, including the fine lines in Washington's hair, the lettering around the rim, and the eagle's detailed feathers on the reverse. Collectors often use magnification to inspect the coin closely for any imperfections, errors, or signs of circulation wear. Coins that are in mint state, meaning they have never been in general circulation and retain their original luster, are exponentially more valuable than those that show even slight wear. Now, let's talk about why the market value of a 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter has skyrocketed to $8 million. Several factors contribute to this extreme valuation. First is rarity. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1966, only a tiny fraction qualifies as true no-mint mark coins that meet the exact specifications collectors seek. These coins are often discovered in old coin rolls, estates, or collections that have been hidden for decades, making them exceptionally scarce. Second, the historical significance of this coin is immense. It represents a transitional period in American coinage when the U.S. was shifting away from silver in everyday currency, making it a key piece for any serious collector or investor in rare coins. Third, condition plays a crucial role. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels, such as MS-65 or MS-66, can demand astronomical prices due to their pristine preservation. Collectors and investors view the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter not just as a coin, but as a tangible asset. With gold and silver fluctuating in value, rare coins like this quarter have become an alternative investment that can appreciate significantly over time. In recent years, auction houses and private sales have reported record-breaking prices for coins of similar rarity, and the 1966 no-mint mark quarter stands out because it combines historical importance, rarity, and condition in a perfect storm for high valuation. If you happen to own one, it's more than just a collectible, it's a life-changing asset. But how did this coin become so rare in the first place? It all comes down to production errors, limited releases, and the peculiarities of mint operations during the 1960s. In 1966, The U.S. Mint was producing quarters in unprecedented quantities to meet the demand for circulation coins. Most were distributed widely, and very few were set aside or misprinted in ways that would later make them extraordinary collectibles. Over time, many coins from this period were lost, spent, or melted down. Only a handful of pristine examples survived, often found in bank vaults, personal savings, or specialized collections. This scarcity is what drives the enormous market value today. Another factor that adds to the allure of the 1966 no-mint mark quarter is the excitement and prestige of coin collecting. Serious collectors understand that owning such a coin is not just about money, it's about being part of a legacy, preserving history, and having a tangible connection to a pivotal moment in American currency. High-profile auctions often feature this coin, and when it appears, it attracts competitive bidding from collectors, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide. The provenance, or history of ownership, can also dramatically increase its value, especially if the coin comes from a well-known collection or was verified by professional grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. For those who are curious about spotting potential opportunities, it's important to understand that errors, varieties, and unusual production characteristics can significantly enhance a coin's value. Some 1966 no-mint mark quarters may exhibit double dies, die cracks, or other anomalies that were not intended by the mint but are prized by collectors. Even coins that appear ordinary can sometimes surprise experts if examined under magnification or with advanced authentication techniques. That's why if you happen to find a 1966 Washington quarter with no mint mark, you should have it professionally evaluated before making any decisions. It could be worth millions. The story of the 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter is also a testament to the broader history of American currency. Coins like this remind us of the economic and cultural shifts that shaped the United States during the 20th century. They tell a story of rising silver prices, minting innovations, and the careful balance between producing currency for daily use and preserving pieces for future generations. Each coin carries with it a unique history, and collectors often feel a sense of pride and responsibility in preserving these artifacts for posterity. It's worth noting that the market for rare coins is dynamic and often influenced by global economic conditions, investor sentiment, and collector demand. Over the past few decades, rare coins have increasingly been recognized as secure, tangible assets. With the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter, demand far exceeds supply. This imbalance is a key driver of its extraordinary value. Investors and collectors alike monitor auction results, market trends, and grading reports to gauge the coin's worth. For many, acquiring such a coin is both a financial and personal achievement. So, how can someone get involved in collecting rare coins like the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter? First, it's essential to educate yourself. Understanding coin grading, historical context, and market trends is crucial. Joining numismatic societies, attending coin shows, and connecting with reputable dealers can provide invaluable insights. Second, always verify authenticity. Professional grading services not only certify coins but also provide a standardized evaluation that buyers and sellers can trust. Third, patience is key. Rare coins are not something you stumble upon every day. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we explore the most valuable coins in the world, uncover hidden treasures, and guide you through the fascinating world of rare numismatics. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most sought-after coins in the United States, the 1996 D-Mint mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike with its incredible value. Believe it or not, the current market value of this coin has skyrocketed to an astonishing $6 million, making it one of the most valuable quarters ever discovered. In this video, we will cover everything you need to know about this coin, from its history, minting, rarity, distinguishing features, grading, and what makes it so unbelievably valuable in today's collector's market. The story of the Washington quarter dollar begins long before 1996. Tracing back to 1932 when the coin was first issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse initially depicted an eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing strength and freedom. Over the decades, the design has evolved, but the coin has remained one of the most recognizable and collected coins in the United States. By 1996, the Washington quarter had been circulating for more than 6 decades, yet it was during this year that the D-Mint Mark issue produced a coin that would later become a legend in the coin collecting world. Now, let's focus on the 1996 D-Mint Mark quarter itself. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small d on the obverse side of the coin. What makes the 1996 D-Mint Mark quarter extraordinary is not its circulation numbers alone, but rather a combination of minting errors, variations, and exceptional preservation that has led to its staggering market value. While millions of Washington quarters were produced in 1996 for everyday use, only a tiny fraction possessed the unique characteristics that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Among these features are subtle errors in the striking process, including doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and die cracks that are barely visible to the naked eye. These minor anomalies, often overlooked by the casual observer, are highly prized in the numismatic community. Collectors and experts use a meticulous grading system to determine the value of coins, and the 1996 D-Mint Mark quarter is no exception. The grading scale ranges from poor to mint state, with additional designations such as proof, MS-70, and PR-69 indicating exceptional quality. The 1996 D Washington quarter, particularly those in perfect or near-perfect mint state with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and deep luster, are the ones that have reached the $6 million mark in the market. The rarity of these high-grade coins is what makes them so desirable. Even a single scratch or minor imperfection can significantly affect its value. For collectors, owning a coin in pristine condition is akin to possessing a piece of history frozen in time. The historical context of 1996 is also essential to understanding why this coin has become so valuable. During the mid-1990s, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with higher quality minting techniques, producing coins with sharper details and better finishes than some earlier years. This meant that certain 1996 quarters ended up with more distinctive and striking features, such as deeply inked lettering, stronger relief on Washington's portrait, and enhanced surfaces that captured the light in a remarkable way. While most coins entered circulation and gradually lost their luster, a select few survived untouched, stored carefully by collectors, investors, or even hidden in rolls and coin albums for decades. These coins retained their original brilliance and eventually became the holy grail for numismatists worldwide. One fascinating aspect of the 1996 D-Mint Mark quarter is the presence of known varieties and errors that increase its rarity. For instance, there are specific doubled die obverse where George Washington's profile shows slight doubling, particularly noticeable on the hair and the motto inscriptions. There are also rare repunched mint mark variations where the D appears slightly offset or duplicated, a result of a misaligned punch during the minting process. Coins with these subtle anomalies are extremely scarce, and finding one in perfect condition is a collector's dream. Auction houses and private sales have seen these coins reach mind-blowing figures, and the $6 million valuation is not an exaggeration but a reflection of their rarity and desirability among serious investors and collectors. The market for rare coins has grown exponentially over the past few decades, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts recognizing that coins are not just currency but tangible pieces of history that can appreciate over time. The 1996 D Washington quarter has become a symbol of this investment potential. Unlike many other collectibles, coins have a universal appeal, are easy to store, and their value is historically stable. The combination of scarcity, historical significance, minting errors, and pristine condition has positioned this particular quarter as one of the most valuable coins in modern numismatics. Many collectors also consider provenance when valuing a coin, and the 1996 D-Mint Mark quarter has several documented cases of coins coming from prestigious collections, auction records, and private holdings. Coins with verifiable histories, especially those previously owned by notable collectors or purchased from reputable auctions, command even higher prices. The story of each coin adds to its mystique, creating an aura of exclusivity and prestige that goes beyond its metal content or face value. Let's also talk about the practical aspects of identifying a 1960 Washington quarter that might be valuable. For the average collector, spotting a coin worth millions requires a keen eye and sometimes specialized equipment, including magnifying glasses, microscopes, and professional grading tools. Key indicators include the sharpness of the details, the presence of doubling on the obverse or reverse, unusual die cracks or repunched mint marks, and the overall surface quality. If a coin exhibits flawless luster and sharp relief, it's worth having it professionally graded by reputable agencies such as PCGS or NGC. Professional grading not only confirms the authenticity but also significantly increases the market value of the coin. It's important to note that while millions of 1960 Washington quarters were produced, the overwhelming majority are ordinary circulation coins with nominal collector value, typically ranging from 25 cents to a few dollars in uncirculated condition. The rare high-grade examples with minting anomalies are the exceptions that command extraordinary prices. This is a classic example of scarcity driving value in the coin market. Millions of ordinary coins exist, but only a handful possess the characteristics that make them worth millions. The fascination with the 1960 mint mark quarter is not just about monetary value, it's also about the connection to history, craftsmanship, and the story behind the coin. Holding such a coin is like holding a tangible piece of American heritage, a reminder of the artistry and precision involved in minting, and a testament to the unpredictable ways in which certain coins capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. Numismatics is as much about passion as it is about investment, and the 1960 Washington quarter embodies both in a spectacular way. For those considering investing in rare coins, the 1960 Washington quarter represents a unique opportunity. While acquiring a coin valued at $6 million is beyond the reach of most collectors, it's a benchmark that illustrates the potential of coin collecting as an investment vehicle. Even owning lower-grade versions or related varieties can be a rewarding and profitable endeavor. The key is knowledge, careful research, and a discerning eye for quality and rarity. In conclusion, the 1960 mint mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, an artifact of minting excellence, and a symbol of the rare and extraordinary possibilities within numismatics. Its current market value of $6 million is a reflection of its rarity, condition, historical significance, and the passion of collectors who recognize its importance. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or someone interested in high-value investments, understanding the story and significance of coins like the 1960 Washington quarter provides insight into why some coins transcend their face value and become priceless treasures. So, the next time you come across a Washington quarter in your pocket, a roll of coins, or a collection tucked away in your attic, remember that among the millions, a rare gem might be waiting to change your life forever.